been a major topic this week with big tech giants on Capitol Hill. Are the companies too powerful and influential? Many have accused Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram of sifting out information to create their own narrative. Let's bring in radio host Joe Pags, who has experienced social media censorship firsthand. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Alex, good to see you. Good to see you, Sean.
Good to see you. So you were recently banned from Twitter. What did you say that was so offensive?
Well, I got up in the morning, like many of us do in the industry. I checked out some social media, what's going on in the world, and Twitter popped up and said, you're suspended temporarily, and here's the offending thing you did. And I expected that it would be like I get every day, like a death threat, or I was profane, none of which happened, or I said something by accident, which didn't happen either. I responded to somebody who was tweeting me about an interview I did with Jerome Corsi. Dr. Corsi's got some ebook out with scientists and doctors saying hydroxychloroquine works. So somebody was attacking me for interviewing him, and I responded with, there was no Russia collusion, that was a hoax, and oh, by the way, hashtag hydroxychloroquine works. That's all I said. And that was it. You're not allowed to say that. And what they said in this suspension notice to me was that I'm not following the WHO guidelines. The WHO that lied and cloaked and covered for China, I have to follow their guidelines, and I'm not allowed to say hydroxychloroquine works. As you both know, and everybody watching knows, anecdotal data has shown for a very long time that not only does it works well. And now we've got a professor at Yale who says we could save 100,000 lives if people would use it. The president has used hydroxychloroquine, and nothing happened to him. But because I said that one hashtag, nothing more egregious than that, I'm out.
So
and
Joe,
said, delete it, or you're going to stay out.
But here's the thing. I know that suddenly now the WHO that lied about everything and is in bed with China is the authority here. But let's take it back to our own FDA, because you might as well talk about that. The FDA and the commissioner has talked about this very specifically. The FDA accepts a drug or not. And so the irony of your particular hashtag is hydroxychloroquine is an accepted drug in the United States. The debate right now is whether or not it's acceptable and good for coronavirus. But the head of the FDA has said that it's up to individual doctors to figure out whether or not this particular drug, or frankly, any other medication or medical treatment, is appropriate for that patient. And those decisions should be made doctor to patient, right? That's the guidance of the FDA. So the idea that Twitter or Facebook or any of the other people think that they know better than our own FDA, I think is ridiculous, because your hashtag, I don't even agree with this, but it'd be one thing if it said hydroxychloroquine works with coronavirus, take it. Okay, maybe whatever, we could have a debate about that. But you tweeted something that is factually accurate because it is an accepted, approved drug in the United States.
It's a great delineation, Sean. The fact is, it's been approved for generations, for decades. It's good for malaria. People take it as a prophylactic for malaria when going to areas that might have that issue. So you're right. My hashtag did not say anything about coronavirus, didn't say anything about COVID-19. And I agree with you. Had I said, you need to take hydroxychloroquine to save your life, now I should probably be suspended. I'm trying to give out medical information.
Can I tell you something that's funny, though? By the way, it's not even that. If you post a video on YouTube right now, this exchange that you, Alex, and I are having, that's it. Not advocating for or against, just discussing it. They will ban it. Just discussing it. It's not even advocating for it. The mere discussion right now gets banned, Joe Pags. That's unbelievable.
And you try to figure out why they're doing it. Why exactly won't we talk about something that we know is a good medication? It's FDA approved and has been forever. Why is this a problem to have the conversation that the president is hopeful that it'll work? Sean, Alex, hopefully everybody watching, we're all hopeful that something will work. So saying that you're hopeful that an approved drug will work, let's think about this, guys. Really break this down and think about this in your head. Doctor writes me a prescription for it. I go to my pharmacist, and because of politics, the pharmacist might say, I'm not filling it. Imagine that. Can you imagine a pharmacy ever saying a doctor's prescription will not be filled in my pharmacy because I'm a Democrat? This is nuts. And by the way, I won't delete the tweet. Twitter has said, delete the tweet, we'll let you back on. And I've talked to a million different people, and I've got a million different answers. Delete it, you could have a voice. Don't delete it, stand up for yourself for the First Amendment. I'm not going to delete it. I didn't say anything wrong. I have appealed it, and they've ignored my appeal for 2 days so far.
Yeah, it does make you wonder what that First Amendment standard is when it comes to these social media companies. You know, I kind of wish that they would just go by what the Supreme Court has held. That way it applies evenly.
And you couldn't be more right. Either they're a platform or they're a publisher. If they're a platform, my opinion counts. I'm allowed to say my opinion, and then they've got freedom from or immunity from liability. If they're going to be a publisher and decide what people can see, what people can say, and how they'll disseminate it, then you've got to get rid of that immunity they have from being sued. And just very quickly, if Sean goes on Twitter and says Joe Pags is a murderer, I can sue Sean. I can't sue Twitter because of this 230 immunity that they have. If they're a publisher, I can now sue them too, and they're going to be on the hook for a lot of money from me. So they can't really have it both sides, can they?
No, and I know that there's some lawmakers looking into that 230 section you mentioned. So thank you so much for sharing your story. We appreciate it.
Good to see you guys.
Thanks, Joe.
A strange situation across all 50 states. Packages of seeds from China are showing up at people's doorsteps. We'll ask a former member of the CIA if we should be worried.